Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I really wanted to make a tour, give you guys a tour of my Uber University campus that I've built. But yeah, I've been a bit sick, so I also missed doing it on time for the celebration of Sims 2's 21st birthday. But better late than never. So excuse my voice and if I cough and wheeze in between, but I'm going to do my best to give you guys a tour. So this is the university campus. It's very small. I mean, the rest of the map is just covered in water, and you can see, I pretend you can see downtown in the distance. But yeah, this is a map that I created myself because I like small maps, small and compact. All right, where a lot of this we're going to look at is just hood deco, and it's really just there for, I would say, window dressing. And then there's certain parts that's actual buildings. I pretend that these buildings are where the classes take place at university. I have some things that you can do it actively with, but I've decided against making my life difficult. So it's kind of like my rabbit holes for where they go to class. This is also the university I'm using in my Uber hood with Pleasant View, Fairplay, and Somerville, and my own downtown. So people like Angela and Lilith Pleasant go here. University, some kids I've already sent, some teens, some I haven't yet, and will still join. But yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a tour of what I have as of this date. My episodes that I've uploaded is not as far on YouTube as I've played in real life. So yeah, it might be a bit of a spoiler for you seeing some people at university that you didn't know would go there, but no, nonetheless, I will still enjoy showing you this. All right, so we're going to start off with my community lots. I think let's get those out of the way first. I've done some speed builds that I've uploaded, and some more will follow. But I'll just give you a quick tour, and I won't go into every single building because I feel like you can see that in the speed builds. I will try to upload every one of them as a speed build. So we start off over here. We have a campus general store where you can buy some groceries and things like that. Across from it, you have a beauty and electronics store. It's kind of like those mini shopping centers where you have more than one store. So on the bottom floor is one, on the top another. Next to that, you have a campus lounge and swimming pool. It's an indoor swimming pool. And across from that, you have the campus art and woodwork studio. And next to that, the campus coffee shop. And across a campus football field. Unfortunately, the grey that I've placed here to make it look like pavement has kind of ruined the grassy look over there, but it's supposed to be grass. And then if you go down this way, you have H&M on campus. This is not something I built. It comes with a game. And then next to that, the campus bowlers club, where you can take your sons bowling. And just down the street from that, the community student center. So this has all sorts of hobby related activities that you can do. Then on this side we have the campus gym, which I have to say turned out really nicely. I really like how that turned out. Let's maybe turn a bit so that you can see the buildings from the front. And I'll zoom in a bit. Here we have the campus medical center next to that. And next to that, campus dining and theater, like for movies theater. And around the corner here, we have the campus park. We have a campus library, which is also a build that I really love how it turned out. and a campus bookstore next to that, and campus arcade and skating ring next to that. And here we have the campus disco and nightclub. That was like my latest build that I've created, and I think it will be a fun place for the Sims to hang out. These are all rabbit holes. I've built a couple of homes that can be used on campus. But I have to say they're a bit more expensive than what the students can afford. So I might need to, let the students kind of save up or take loans in order to not live in a dormitory, which could be realistic actually. On this side we have the first one. It has a covered parking area. Then we have a very pink looking building next to that. I guess some girls would live over there probably. And here we have another one. And whoops, sorry, zooming in. Another one, and another one. So there's quite a few homes. Then I have a home that's there's some needed to take a loan to move in here. So I don't quite want to spoil it. But okay, I'm gonna show it to you. If you don't want to see this part because you don't want to know what happens, then alright, don't look at it. So this home has a gentleman called Klaus Rodenow living there, and he married none other than the female version of Dustin Broke, Dusty Brooks. And they are still students, but they are engaged, and well, they were engaged, they ended up getting married. Excuse the fact that her shirt is not showing up. I don't know why. She is definitely wearing one, I promise. They're very happy, and yeah, we'll see what happens with them. Will they be able to keep up their studies now that they're newlyweds, or will they get too distracted? Then what I did was I used the regular university dorms that come with the game, but I made some edits, and I also added things around, like little food stalls and recreation areas, because I wanted it to feel like you could walk around between the buildings, which is something you would be able to do on campus. That's also why I added this hood deco. So I hope I was successful with that. I really tried to create kind of the illusion of that. Over here, these are students I created. All right, so I have Gregory as a pleasure sim, come and join the party. Anastasia has dreams of taking the art world by storm. This is more for myself than anything else, because when you start playing with the pre-made sims or the ones born in game, you kind of forget who you created as fellow dormies. Then over here we have two guys. Hank wants to make loads of friends and starts, this is Hank, and share his love with as many ladies as possible. I think that tells you everything. Sebastian likes having others around to socialize with. Will he have fun on campus? All right. Then across from them in a smaller dorm. All right, I promise she has hair. So over here, these two sims, the one with the blue dress and the man on the end here, they are ones that I created as dormies, but the two in the middle are actually sims that come from gameplay. He is a townie, I think, from either Somerville or from Fairplay. All right, she is a sim that I created, that was adopted by the Cupcake family of Somerville, and yeah, she was adopted as a teen, and now is a young adult. All right, so let's just read this to you. Lewis is ready to study and become an architect. He enjoys meeting new friends, but studying is more important. And for some reason, I didn't mention her. So I made a bit of a blooper there. Anyway, that's something to fix. All right, she actually looks like this with beautiful long black hair, not bald. She's called Claire Cupcake. You will still meet her in the game, and then Ian Chester. You will meet them as we play through. But anyhow, they are here already at the point where I am now, and we've seen them. Alright, so over here we have some dormies and some playables. Austin, this is Austin, is a family sim and she can't wait to fall in love. Mac has big dreams, this is Mac. The type with simoleon symbols on them. Interesting, alright. The other sims in this household, we have the grown-up Lilith Pleasant. We have Dee Dee Draper from Fairplay. This is, of course, Dirk's female version. And then we have Lionel Oakley. Interestingly enough, he's Lilith's male version. Now, you may see something here that looks interesting. I'm going to be silent about that. Because otherwise I will really spoil the story. But yeah, there is a bun in the oven there. Alright, moving on. Leaving you on that cliffhanger. These are two of my own dormies. Nania loves making friends. Her friends and family are super important to her, but that doesn't mean she can't report on all the events in the world. So that's just a little nod to what she wants to become one day. Abe aims to be friendly and respectful to others. He hopes to sweep a lucky girl off her feet someday soon. A real Prince Charming. So, two lovely sims. And then across. Alright, you've already seen Dustin's female version. Here she's without a shirt as well. Who knows why. She's still showing up here. She lived in this dormitory, but obviously after getting married, she moved in with her new husband, who is a dormie I created. Lorraine has a mind for business. This is Lorraine. And her studies always comes first, but that doesn't mean she can't have fun and make friends. Vance, this is Vance, wants a good education and a job so he can take care of his family one day. Yeah, I will just say this. They all looked and seemed lovely when I just moved them in, but they have had a mind of their own, and you will get to see that as we actually move on and play this neighborhood, or I show what has happened, because some of them seemed so nice and innocent when I moved them in, and the moment I let them loose, yeah, they did not behave as I intended, but you will get to see that. Alright, so then we have Dustin Broke. This is the grown-up Dustin Broke living over here in the dormitory. So we'll see what happens in his life ahead. We've read this one. Next to them, we have again two dormies. If you're looking to have fun, this is the dorm for you. Ingrid and JJ are ready to introduce you to all the fun you can have on and off campus. So they, as you can see, she's a pleasure sim and so's JJ. So yeah, if you're not too interested in studying, I guess that would be the right dorm for you. Okay, now this will need to change because Klaus moved from here. He married Dusty and they moved out. So Klaus was originally over here. I will read the bio just so that you see what his bio was. Klaus wants to have lots of friends, but will a busy social life leave him time to study? Ambitious Eva has found love, but is he the one or will he distract her? Well, yeah, this is quite a messy triangle you will still get to see that poor Eva finds herself in. And genuinely, she's a really nice sim, one of my favorites. Alright, next to her we have the male version of Angela Pleasant. So this is Angel Oakley. And he dated Dusty, and I actually tried them together. You will still get to see this. Tried them together and thought that if I kind of helped them along with their relationship, they might continue, because they had two sparks over here by the time they met up. But it was kind of like a dead horse that I was beating. They didn't seem terribly passionate about each other, although she rolls once afterwards that she doesn't want him to die and things like that. I think they'll always be good friends. The romance just didn't seem to be there. So she is now married to a dormie who feels very passionate about her. Okay, Klaus Rodenhoff. Okay, good. And then on this side, these ladies are not all dormies. She's a dormie and she's a dormie. The lady in the middle, I think she was kind of randomly generated. She comes from one of the vacation hoods, but quite a few of my sims brought her home and befriended her while they were teens, so I decided to send her to college. Also, there were some of them that wanted her to join them in college, so I felt like that was a good idea. Wilma Blue has a mind for business, while Jessica knows how to plan a party. Will they pass their subjects well? I can tell you the little bit that I've played this dorm. Wilma Blue, yeah, I think she's been a little bit more business-minded, although she's had her moments. But Jessica Bunton was a whole other horse. She's a pleasure sim, and yeah, it showed. Anyways, and in our final dorm, we have the grown-up Angela and two townies. So it says, Romy quickly caught the eye, this is Romy, of a hot fellow student, and she hopes that he will pop the question soon. Leonard, this is Leonard, loves cooking for fun and also has interests in improving his skills and scientific knowledge. So these are the three that live over here. I am not going to go into this dorm at all because something very nice is going on with Angela and I don't want to spoil it. You've already seen Lilith in her current state, so I'm going to just be completely quiet and leave you hanging to see what has happened to Angela, because it's something that I'm pretty sure you will all really like to see. So you'll have to wait. Those are the sims that's currently here. I still need to move Dirk Dreamer here. He hasn't arrived yet. And there's some teens that children who's aged into teens by now that you haven't seen, that hasn't been shown yet. They also will come here soon, but I want a bit of a gap between them and the guys that you start off with as teens. Alexander is also still a teen. I haven't moved him here either. I mean, he started off as a kid, so I feel like he doesn't need to be here. Lucy has turned into a teen in the meantime. You will see that still as we play, but she cannot come yet. I feel like it's too soon for them to be here, but Dirk definitely will be moving here soon. So this is my campus. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I feel like it looks nice, it looks vibrant and inviting. It's got a lot of CC. It's really CC heavy. But I hope you guys will enjoy it when we play over here. And I mean, I could show you some of the houses inside and things like that, but I feel like you will be seeing that in speed builds. I don't want to waste your time. What I can do though, and I think would be good, is if I showed you just what I did to kind of create the illusion that you can walk between dorms. So I will go into the dorms simply to show you what I've done with that. Right, so I will just pause the game. I think I will turn it into daylight. Just to make it a little bit easier to see. Alright, so here's one example. This dorm comes with the game, but I've added a seating area. I love these stands that you can download. I think a lot of them are from Jackie93, but I'm not 100% sure that I found all of them from her, but I think she's really responsible for a lot of them. And I've just placed some tables, umbrellas, and then I've tried to do, you will see, obviously you can see the other buildings around are kind of blurred, but you will see there's some pavement, there's some trees, there's some benches. I've tried to put some, so it kind of looks like a walkway, a park, you know, as if you could possibly walk between the buildings. So it's something simple, it's not anything major really, but it just kind of creates the illusion that if you were to exit here from the back, you would be able to walk somewhere, right? There would be some alley, there would be some walkway, some park, you know, that was kind of what I was going for. Also, if you look down the street, you know, it's kind of the same everywhere. I've added some things or hood deco like this and these flowers, and then others are things that really purely goes on the lots. But even with the parking areas of community lots, I try to, you know, create the illusion that you could literally walk or drive past, park in one or park in the other. That was my intent. Alright, so I'll quickly just show you some of the others. Excuse the fact that the student's in his pajamas. I'm not sure why that is, but alright. He must have been doing something. Okay, this is another one that comes with the game, and for instance here I have a food stand, I have a seating area, photo booth, bench, and then I've tried, for instance, with this dormitory that's next to it to also put seats on this side, as I have you know, the stairs coming out on this side. Well, that comes with the building, but it creates the illusion that you would be able to walk across and go sit across. Same here. You know, love the autumn trees that's shedding. It just creates that illusion, because on a regular campus you would be able to walk between the buildings. Here I have an area set up like for pictures, for instance. You know how they take campus photos from time to time. I don't know they did that on our campuses, where you could stop and have a photo taken with friends or something like that. So I've even set up things like that in between, so it looks like you're walking in between buildings and you have that type of fun activities. So I've tried to place something kind of fun or special on each one. One dormitory would have a hot tub, while another one would have a picture taking opportunity, something like that, where you could take photos. And I love how it looks when you're looking down the street with all the, I tried to place like street lights in between as well, so that it really creates the illusion that you're looking down the street. Here I've placed some hood deco, but just kind of make it look like there's kind of a walkway area over here with trees. So just out of interest, before I show you what I did on this one, I just want to just answer something that people have been asking me about the way I create dormies or townies. I take it as a very personal type of creation, where I don't just randomize. I actually try to make a balanced amount of people that have different aspirations. I like to change personalities around. I don't just look at someone and say, oh, you're a Libra, this will be your aspiration according to some calculator, or I don't like playing like that. So, of course, I will not make someone a pleasure sim necessarily if they have no playful points. That kind of doesn't make sense. But I would, for instance, make someone who's not outgoing a popularity sim and say, well, they want to be popular, but they're too shy. So they do have that aspiration, but it's kind of harder for them to have parties. It doesn't mean they don't want to have one. So, I try to combine it. It just makes for interesting gameplay because that way you have, not everyone is the same. All right, so that's just a short little bit of info on that. I will change this to daytime again just so I can show you and you can actually see what's going on. All right, now to get out of the trees. Okay, so yet another dormitory that came with the game. For instance, I've added this kind of, it's not really a pool, it counts as a hot tub, but it looks like a pool. Blow-up pool, area where you could eat, stargaze. And then what I've done with the hood deco is I've kind of created the illusion that this would be a walkway or a square where students kind of gather and sit down and chat, between the buildings. So that was my intent. You can use hood deco along with your own lot deco in a lot of creative ways. These are also hood deco. And yeah, sometimes you have the problem that the lay of the land isn't right and pieces go missing. But it's okay if you use it in a clever way. For instance, here, this looks like it's a kind of a triangular piece. You could cover this up with more hood deco plans and no one would know. There's different ways that you could do that. It didn't really bother me. I decided that it's just a triangle of pavement. So yeah, that's another way that you can use hood deco along with your own lot deco. All right. Okay, so just pretend that you didn't see this because it's kind of a spoiler if you're seeing all the ones from the Sims Who Live Here. All right, and over here again, I've placed an area that looks like you could possibly park there. These cars are all hood deco cars, so you cannot actually drive most of them. I think some of them may have been ones that I placed on the lot itself to be able to be driven, but some of them are hood deco and you can never actually drive them. It's just to create the illusion that you have parked cars on the side of the street or in an alley. I did the same over here. This one's definitely not a drivable car. So, it just kind of makes it look more alive than when you just have this empty street with no cars, because you will have some students that will have drivable cars. So it just creates the illusion. And here's another example of what I did with hood deco. I mean, this is not a usable building, but if you place it smartly, like I did over here, it looks like the road is going there and as if that's a building your Sims would be able to drive or walk to just down the street. So I love that. And of course, I'm using skyboxes, and I am using also this backgrounds, the season backgrounds that you can download. And that's lovely because look at the mountains that it adds, look at the clouds that it adds. It's not just from your neighborhood view. Of course, I have camera mode that you can see further, because otherwise you wouldn't have that available to you to be able to see. on your map, but it's not just from HUD view that you can see it, it's from your lots as well, and it really adds so much to the game. It looks much more realistic. So yeah, that's one of the things that I would really miss if I had to play vanilla, would be not having the skyboxes and the backgrounds. That's something that's become very important in my gameplay. Alright, at the dormitory itself, they had this kind of veranda where you could sit. I've added a couple of more things, and then I just let it kind of continues to kind of like a leisure area, but also as if you're kind of leaving where the dormitory is and walking down the path to other buildings. There's a food stand, ice cream stand, things like that on campus. And of course the dormitory itself is pretty much how you get it. What I do change, I change the rooms. I add things. I feel the overbearingly huge. I change a few things. One of them being the overbearing, humongous wardrobes that they put in. I don't feel that's really logical for a dormitory room. So I add something smaller. It's a small space, so I feel that makes sense. And I make sure that everyone has some type of electronic device or computer. I feel these days most people have at least a laptop or something, iPad or something that they work from. And then a few skilling objects. It's also not really realistic that the only mirror you will own will be the one in the bathroom, you know. So I like adding things like that. Generally, I keep the main idea of the dormitory the same. I might replace some of the computers, so it's Monique hacked versions, just to make it easier. But yeah, I also like giving people different bedding. I feel like, you know, it's not a military camp where everyone has standard issue, and people would kind of have their own stamp that they would put on their dorm room. At least where I come from, that is something that you're allowed to do. So I really put in the time and I change that just so that it feels a little bit more realistic. Over here, I've also added some food stands, some seating. This is something I've added all over because, you know, students kind of like sitting together and having a coffee or, you know, chatting to their friends, and they don't just want to be inside the dorm time. So, I mean, this is what comes with the game. What I've added here, for instance, is I didn't like the kind of bland look of this not having anything there. So I've added a little bench, some garden. I feel like that is nice. You know, this dormitory was built nicely with that, so I wanted to just enhance it a little bit. But again, I have the street with the cars here. I have a walkway. And then I have a mod where, this I recommend by the way, where you can place objects on your lot, almost out of the lot. It's literally on the line of where your lot ends. So then that way, on the next lot, or if you do this by HUD deco that you place close, then it creates the illusion. For instance, this plant looks like, and that tree looks like it's right at the walkway, because the mods I have is that you can build up to the very edge, or at least put your plants up to the very edge, and then with HUD deco you can kind of place it within lots as well. And you have to just obviously be careful that you don't mess up your lot by placing HUD deco from HUD view. But I like what it does because it makes it just give you more of an open world feel, which you wouldn't have otherwise. Alright, so over here, this is, yeah, the benches that I referred to earlier. You're walking out of this dormitory and you immediately, it looks like you're immediately walking over to the other dormitory. So that's just something else that's nice. Alright, so this dormitory that comes with the game was very incomplete. There was one other one that also had some missing paint on the walls, and this was the other one that it just comes with the game with missing paint. So yeah, it may look a little different because I actually fixed that. And I also added some areas to sit, added some food stalls. But because this dormitory has some Sims that really party in it, I thought that it would be interesting to add kind of a party area for this because they really had the space. So I did this. Of course, it became quite messy really fast with all the plastic cups lying around. But yeah, it really does fit the girls who live here, I have to say. So we have a party area, and they have a bubble machine. And I also believe I added the plants. Or the plants do not come with this. I think it's pretty bland when you start off. I also extended the pavements a bit, added some lighting, gardening, and I think it really makes it look nice. And then with hood deco at the back, along with our beautiful backdrop, I added some advertisement boards, park benches. This is something you can download, by the way, for hood deco. And some, it looks like pavement where you would be able to walk. And what you see over here, that's also hood deco that you can actually use it on the sides of cliffs. And but I found a wonderful use for it when I made this campus. I've used it a lot of places and it's beautiful. It really looks like foliage that's growing over rocks, and it just adds a nice rounding off for your map. I do not make use of the water mods that you can download. I'm not sure my PC would survive that type of graphics, but this looks fine for me. If you look at the water over there and you have this, the illusion is there that there's kind of, you have a nice view of the side with some water. This is also the edge of the map. That's why my road replacement is looking like this, if you're wondering. But yeah, if you look at this, I think it creates a really, really beautiful picture. Looks like a real campus that you can walk on. The dormitory itself, I think I was still in the process of changing all the bedding because they all have the same bedding. Or I might have left this one like that. Anyhow, I did fix the paint that's missing, so now this does look like a proper dormitory and not like something that they're still building, which was kind of the impression you get when you come in. Alright, so guys, this is it for our campus tour. I hope you enjoyed it. And I really look forward to playing this further and also to introduce you to the Sims a bit more I created, and also now that our teens have turned into young adults, seeing where life leads them. So yeah, see you guys again soon. Happy simming and be blessed. Goodbye.